We know now that the next crisis is already waiting for us around the corner.
NASA's human spaceflight program has seen its busiest years in more than a decade in terms of number of spacewalks, launches, people in space, and research conducted aboard the International Space Station. Throughout the past 21 years, the United States has had continued human presence in space.
NASA's Mega Moon rocket will stay on the launch pad for now with a planned liftoff for Tuesday. But leaders say, of course, that could all change depending on the weather.
Saturn has a ring around it. You can never see it with your eyes. Saturn has a ring around it. Many moons now is to be true.
NASA wants to send the Orion space capsule via the SLS rocket around the moon, pushing it to the limit before astronauts strap in on the next flight. If the 5-week demo with test dummies succeed, astronauts could fly around the moon in 2024, then land on it in 2025. NASA says the SLS won't fly, though, until it's completely ready.
Artemis 1, the high-stakes test mission for NASA's new moon rocket, called off for a second time. The decision comes after a dangerous fuel leak that crews could not repair in time. NASA is now eyeing Monday as the next attempt. ABC's Morgan Norwood is at Kennedy Space Center with more.
The launch for NASA's new moon rocket scrubbed for a second time.
A scrub for the day here at the Kennedy Space Center.
This time after a dangerous fuel leak that crews had been battling for hours on Saturday. Teams had tried to cap the leak by restarting the flow of liquid hydrogen, but after 3 hours of multiple troubleshooting attempts, decided to stand down.
By Saturday afternoon, NASA says it will decide if attempting to finally launch Artemis 1 on Tuesday is worth risking the threat of a major storm. The Space Launch System to move indoors with a rollback from Pad 39B to the Vehicle Assembly Building. NASA says if the weather is bad enough.
It's still a tropical depression number 9. It's not a named storm. We really want to continue to try to get as much information as we can so we can make the best possible decision.
Wednesday, NASA concluded it met all objectives during a 9-hour fueling test.
Hydrogen molecules are really, really small. They're tiny. And so you can do a leak check, let's say, for example, with helium and pass it. And then when you flow hydrogen, you're not so fortunate. But this is a learning process.
Heaven has a ring around it. The angels sing a song over you. Heaven has a ring around you. If you don't see it, know that it's true. If you don't see it, know that it's true.
When you strap into that rocket, you are very grateful that you've got a launch team like this.
We all were deceived. We all had the spinning ball put in our classroom from the time we were little wee tots that says on the bottom, not for educational purposes.
lot for searching that out, man. Appreciate that. Fisherman in the Box. Fisherman in a Box.